Well, we've owned this property for 23 years. It's 80 acres and it's around about 1 kilometre downstream from where the Hunter River and the Williams River, the junction. We mainly just produce vealers as intensively as we can and try and make as much hay as possible.
Hunter Local Land Services has had a project working in the Hunter estuary for a number of years now. We've been working with agricultural landholders to improve riverbank condition. Andrew contacted us a couple of years ago in the early stages of the project, looking to improve his riverbank. He knew he had a problem, but he just wasn't quite sure what to do about it.
We've got around about 1.4 kilometres of river frontage. It's all badly eroded. I think in some spots it can erode up to 0.5 metre a year.
I asked experts from Soil Conservation Service to visit the site to give an opinion on erosion control methods that might be suitable for this site, and I wanted to try something a bit more environmentally sensitive than rock revetment. So when the rock's placed right against the riverbank, it doesn't really allow room for emergent species like mangroves and reeds.
The Hunter Local Land Services contacted us for an opinion and advice on the riverbank. It was quite apparent that the river is on a long sweeping bend in this location, which makes it exposed to the prevailing winds. Additionally, there is no riverbank fencing to keep stock out, so they get direct access to the riverbank. The area has been cleared historically, so there's nothing there now to protect the riverbank from these erosive wind waves and boat wash. The erosive waves will cause the riverbank to become undercut, then that section will slump into the river and become dispersed by the tidal currents. One of the requirements that Local Land Services had for this project was to trial new or different materials to deliver the desired outcome. So what we came up with was to trial this log wall structure and essentially provide a sheltered environment along the riverbank which will facilitate the natural recruitment of mangrove and salt marsh species.
So as this was a little bit of a trial, the new type of method, we'll be monitoring the success of this structure, and so far the success looks good. We've got mangroves establishing behind the timber structures, and you can see at times when there's waves out in the river that the log structures provide protection from the waves hitting the riverbank. It also helps prevent some of the eroding bank from washing out into the river, so improved water quality results. Another important feature of what we're doing at the riverbanks here is planting deep-rooted native vegetation to help hold the soil together. The first stage of planting and fencing took place about 18 months ago, and the native plants like the casuarinas or she oaks and melaleucas and the swamp mahoganies are thriving. Over the next month, hundreds of trees will be planted along this section of riverbank. The timberwork and native vegetation complement each other and provide a stable riverbank for the future.
And all that combined has provided, will provide good shade and shelter for the cattle in the future. Pretty positive effect on the way we use our riverbank paddocks. I'm more confident now to put the cattle down there now they're fenced, and makes management a bit easier for me.
For anyone seeking to get advice on how to manage their riverbank, you can contact your local land services office and have a site visit from one of our officers. An officer will be able to talk you through your site conditions and some options for solutions for fixing any problems that you've identified.
In a short period of time, as far as I'm concerned, it seems to be a success, and it's all positive.